Today in the first video of Obscure D&D Races, I'm going to be talking about the Batfolk. What are Batfolk? What are their origins? And what deities do they worship? Today I'll be discussing all that, as well as drawbacks and benefits of playing as this curious creature. I'm going to let you know that there's not much to find online about this D&D race. During my time researching for this video, I couldn't verify whether the Batfolk were original to the game or made by players. I spent some time digging around on the wikis and found a list of 3.5 edition races that included Batfolk, but all the Batfolk pages I read specified that they were homebrewed, so there's really no way of knowing. I'm guessing this race is from 3rd edition or 3.5 because the descriptions seem pretty similar across different resources. I'll link all the articles below so you can read for yourself. But wherever it came from, I'm excited to share it with you. Planning my first D&D campaign was pretty stressful, but I immediately knew what I wanted the story to be about. I was inspired by this.
So, bats!
Stealthy bats.
Stealthy bat.
We like fuck.
All of you guys turn into bats.
Great, I have a concept. Next, I went to the internets and typed in Bat D&D Races or something like that, and this page came up. A short description, a little bit of history, and some mechanics I thought were really cool. So, what exactly are Batfolk? Batfolk are humanoid bat-like creatures with huge eyes and large bat ears. They have wings which are attached to their backs or their arms, depending on your source. They generally like to keep to themselves and are very wise and nimble, often described as fearful of the outside world. One description I found reads, Batfolk are shy and normally uninterested in the goings-on in the world outside their subterranean homes. Most Batfolk grow up in small familial communities called colonies, while others are known to live in abandoned buildings, towers, and sewer systems of cities. Those raised in colonies rarely leave home unless there's a dire need. Batfolk raised in cities often find themselves involved in the criminal element that are happy to make use of the Batfolk's natural gifts. While they are all simply humanoids with bat-like features, many people are fearful of what they see as a giant talking bat. They have short brown, black, or gray fur and leathery wings on their back. Batfolk are known to wrap their wings around themselves as a makeshift cloak to help them blend in with communities outside of their own. They have luminescent eyes in the shades of brown, amber, red, green, or yellow, as well as fangs. Batfolk can be as varied in appearance as their small feral counterparts, some having large ears and snuff features of vampire bats, while others have elongated snouts and almost canine features of fruit bats, etc. Batfolk get names that combine two things found in nature, like Nightwing, Bright Moon, and Star Talon. Origins. As far as in-game origins, there's very little information about this. Tura, another bat humanoid, seems to be somewhat related to the Batfolk, and both have a common heritage. No one, not even Tura, know the origins of their race, but scholars who have studied them believe them to be the descendants of several common bat species, uplifted to sapience via magic, though who did so, for what reason, and even when, are unknown. Batfolk's deity. Batfolk are often good aligned, perhaps due to the god that many of them choose to worship. Batfolk often follow a lawful good deity called Not, who is described as the god of the night, always a very calm deity slowly rising to greater power. When he appears on the material plane, he takes the form of a Shadowborn or Batfolk. He is most well known for bringing peace and harmony to the night. Not's dogma. Treat the night as a time of peace, not fear or war. Try to get as close to night as possible. Race features and balancing. Batfolk have a lot of cool racial features, and depending on what your DM allows, you might actually be able to get away with some of them. There are at least 3 different types of Batfolk: vampire, fruit, and flower. Each type has different benefits and disadvantages, as well as various appearances. Here are some of the features of a fruit Batfolk. -2 strength, +2 dexterity, +2 wisdom. Fruit Batfolk are not strong, but very dexterous and wise. Batfolk walking speed is 30 feet, flying speed of 60. Fruit need. Fruit Batfolk must have fruit 3 times a week or suffer 1d4 points of constitution damage. Bat shape. All Batfolk can transform into a bat at will for 3 rounds/level before transforming back. This ability can only be used once per encounter. Echolocation. All Batfolk are treated as having blind sight, except they must emit a high-pitched screech each round. This is a free action, and a +4 racial bonus on listening checks. How I balanced. Balancing is very confusing and is up to the DM on how they want to run their game, but I made a few changes to the Batfolk when this race was played in my game. I took away the blind sense, which Batfolk often have, replacing it with dark vision. I also took away physical wings, replacing them with a longer time to be in their bat form. Honestly, I think it would be hard to DM a game where most or all of your players could fly, but I'd love to see someone else try to do it. So that's Batfolk, or at least all the information I could gather on them. Very curious creatures with a lot of potential for making a great character, PC or otherwise. What obscure D&D races do you like to play or incorporate into your games? Have you ever created new playable races for your world? I'd love to know. I'm scared of homebrewing, but I also think it's one of the funnest parts of playing D&D. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more D&D and nerdy adjacent videos, and I'll see you next week. Bye!